All right, all right, all right. This is another episode of the Purpose Pod.
All right,
Oh
all
Lord,
right,
I
all
always
right.
do that. I always have my Facebook thing going on. So yes, this is another episode of the Purpose Pod. The main goal of this podcast is to set you on a path towards your purpose. So if you're interested in transforming your life through entrepreneurship, personal development, and taking your vision to the next level, this is the podcast for you. So today, oh my gosh, I love this topic, this conversation that we're about to get into. It's going to be amazing because my life has been surrounded around this topic today. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring on our guest right now. Looks like she's drinking. What's she drinking over there? Oh, there she goes. There she goes.
Some life
Uchenna
juice.
Umeh. How you doing
Hi,
today?
I'm doing just fine. What's going on? I'm drinking some life juice. This is water and honey, okay?
Water and
Okay.
honey.
Life
Dr.
juice, baby.
Lulu. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm
Everything's
doing
good?
just fine. Yeah, super,
That's
super
good.
excited to be here.
That's awesome. I'm thankful to have you here. I haven't had this conversation with people in a while about suicide, teen mental health, and just suicide awareness. And I'm just so excited to get into this conversation with you. And I know you're passionate about this because this is what you do. Like this is your thing here. So go ahead and introduce yourself and just tell the people a little about you.
So my name is Dr. Umeh, but you could call me Dr. Lulu, aka the Momatrician. I am a pediatrician. I promise you, I'm a real one, and I'm also a mom. I know people's like, "What? You're a doctor?" Yes, it's okay to be a doctor and not be like gray and Caucasian with a white face. You can be fun, and that's what I
Yeah,
am. I think I'm a fun. I'm a relatable doctor, and I've always been like this. So it's not like I
yeah.
didn't just become this way. And so I'm Nigerian born, bred, buttered,
Nigerian.
toasted, slightly,
Toasted.
slightly burnt on the sides, and that's good. That's the way that tastes better that way.
Yeah,
Smoke.
that's good bread. That's
I
good
love
bread.
it. I'm telling you for real. So, and I came to the US of A after medical school in Nigeria.
Mhm.
I went to Howard. So HU,
HU?
you know,
Is that the real HU? I don't
the
know. My
real, the
wife might
only
argue. She went to
one, the
Hampton.
only one. Even Harvard thinks they're
Oh,
HU, but they're
even
not.
Harvard? They're
There's only
not.
one
Only one
HU,
HU.
on Georgia Avenue. Yes, sir. So I came, and actually, believe it or not, I got in from my father's house in Nigeria. I
Oh
got accepted.
wow.
So
Oh really?
yeah, I was born to go to Howard. That's all I know. Okay.
Yeah.
I had a couple of mentors who went to Howard, and I just, the power of speaking stuff into existence. People
Mhm.
say that, but I'm telling you, it is true.
Yeah.
You speak it into existence. Ironically, this time last year, you know how Facebook reminds you about like memories?
Memories. Yeah.
One of my friends, my juniors from high school, because I went to an all girls high school. Another day's discussion, but they had the Facebook thing came up, and it was when I saw her in Dallas last year, about this time last year.
Mhm.
And so I was like, "Oh, girl, remember this?" She was like, "Oh my God!" And I was like, "It's been a year." I was like, "Yes, it's been a year." And then I said, "And look what's happened to you. Remember, you said that next time you see me,
Mhm.
this time next year, I'm going to be an author." That's what she said. She said it. And then
Wow.
she said to me, "Wait, but you said this time next year you'll be a TEDx speaker." I'm like, "Oh my God!" So I do believe in the power of just positive speaking out into the
Mhm.
universe. And
Yeah.
then something more important than an affirmation, and I learned this yesterday. You can say, "I am good, I'm important, I'm
Mhm.
famous." But what's better than that? I am going to do the work it takes. Okay. Because
Mm.
you can say
Okay.
all you like. Yeah. You can say all you like that I'm going to be famous and just sit down and just worry about it. Well, it's
Mhm.
not going to happen. I have news for you. And
Yeah.
so I said I wanted to go to Howard. I had never
Mhm.
been to America. I didn't know where Howard was. What I knew was in Washington, D.C.
Mhm.
And I knew that Washington, D.C. was like a an important place in America. It's
Yeah.
important. But I wanted to go to Howard because of these two women. I just love the way, what we call clinical methods, the way they handled patients, the way they spoke to the patients, the way they were around their patients. And
Yeah.
I wanted to be a doctor like that. And in my head, I was sure that going to Howard was what it was going to take. You know
Mhm.
what? It doesn't matter. For me, I just needed to get to Howard and I'll be like them.
Yeah.
So you
Oh.
speak the words into existence, and it will be yours. And then I told my dad I was going to America. He was like, America? You know?
Yeah.
It's like, well, first of all, you got to get married. I was like, get
Mhm.
married? What? Why? I don't want to get married. And I remember saying, I don't want to get married. And my dad was like, so you're my first daughter. You're what we call an Ada, which is like a princess, and like the first daughter of the
Mm.
land in the sense of the kindred, something
Yeah.
like that. It's important. He was like,
Yeah.
no, you're gonna get married, baby. I was like, no. And so it was a fight of wills. And so my dad said, Uncle, I will let you go to Washington, D.C. because he used to say Washington, D.C. He's like, I'll let you go to Washington, D.C. if you can raise half the money you need to buy the ticket.
Mm.
You know what? You don't tell me that, because I was like, watch me.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got the money, but I wrote letters to every uncle and every aunt that I had. And
Wow.
boom, I got the money. And then my dad was like,
You're going to DC.
but that's my dad and I. And whatever it takes, I think parents coming back to being a parent and
Mhm.
allowing your kids to soar. But what you
Yeah.
do as a parent is you're basically holding the string of the kite.
Mm.
You have power to guide the kite out from the trees, but the kite flies independently.
Right.
That is the connection I want parents to have with their children, their teenagers.
Mm.
My
That's
dad
good.
saw the fire in my eyes. He said, she's not going to back down. But let me
Yeah.
give her this obstacle. Let me give her this obstacle. Because you know what? You know what? If you want something badly enough, baby, you will do what it
You would
takes.
do it. Yep.
So don't tell me you want to be an entrepreneur. People tell me, oh, I want to be like you. And I say, okay, well, sign up. And then they don't sign up.
Yeah.
It's very simple. I learned that today in a book that I was reading. The guy in it's set in the 1940s, and so
Mhm.
his guy was going to Philadelphia, to Pennsylvania, to go do something. But the bottom line is, he told the guy who was driving the chariot, he asked him a question, and the taxi or chariot driver said to him, "I don't work for fun,"
Hmm.
and it hit me. Enough of the freebies already. I don't work for fun.
Right.
So people say
That's true.
read this self-help book and read that self-help book. I say read what you got to read and get the message in the words. This is
Mhm.
not a this is a novel. Oh my God, where's that book? It's a novel.
Yeah.
It's in the 1940s. It's just something, I don't know, maybe romance, I don't know. But the point is, if you want the message is everywhere.
Yeah.
You just need to see the message. The taxi driver spoke to me. He said, I don't work for fun, because it's work, and therefore I should get paid for it. And so that's basically a mindset shift for those people who think, I can't ask for
That's real
money.
good.
I don't want to ask to be paid. Oh, I want to do this for free. Well,
Mhm.
you know what? Coca-Cola has no problem taking your money,
Right.
have no problem advertising. Coca-Cola is one of the most, if not the most advertised businesses in the world. Everybody knows
Mhm.
Coca-Cola. You
Mhm.
guys call it Coca-Cola. We call it Coca-Cola. But the
Yeah.
bottom line, they will advertise and you will go buy Coca-Cola. So
Mhm.
please don't judge me when I say to you, my course is not free.
Right.
It's not for everyone. You can drink Pepsi if
Mhm.
you want, but those who
Right.
drink Coca-Cola, they drink Coca-Cola. So that's what I mean. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's what I
That's
have to say about
hey, that's a good point, Dr. Lulu. That's a good
playing.
point,
We're not
Dr.
playing here.
Lulu.
We're not playing here. We're not playing. No more.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I love what you said about like parents being holding the string, and because you can't control, like if you want to use that analogy of your children being like a kite, you can only dictate your grasp on the string. You can't control where the kite
Hello.
goes. Come
Thank
on now.
you. But also, I feel like we're in church, and when I do these things, when I get goosebumps, and I know it's going to be good. Here's the
Hmm.
thing: you also recognize that. But another thing is, you do control the length of the string.
Come on, Doc.
If parents just knew the power they had, but it's within reason,
Hmm.
because that kite can all. If you're not paying attention, the kite will get in the trees and get
Hmm.
tangled.
Yep.
Enter cutting and drug use and running away
Hmm.
from home, because you slipped. So
Wow.
parents need to own it. They need to own that you birthed this kid.
Mhm.
Birthed. Once upon a time, one of the things I love in my first book, one of the phrases I love to read, and if you give me a chance, I can read it, is the
Mhm.
part that's about the fact that you as a parent, you asked God, Allah, the Buddha, the universe for this child. You did.
Mhm.
So don't tell me all of a sudden now the child, because they want a purple hair or they want to, I don't know, join the military or they're
Yeah.
gay,
Right.
whatever, all of a sudden, well, you are no good. Why? Because you're worried about what people will say about you and your
Mm.
child. Forgetting
Wow.
that when that child was burning up with a fever at 3 o'clock in the morning when they were 18 months old, none of those people were there,
Right.
but you were. So anyway, I don't know how far you want us to go. I know we just started, but
No,
honey,
yeah. No, hey, you want to
hmm,
go into deep waters real quick, Dr.
but
Lulu.
yes, yes, because it is what it is. I mean, we could talk
Yeah.
about the fact that I was born and bred in Nigeria, which I'm very, very proud of,
Yeah.
and and all of that frou stuff. Or we can get to the fact that
Get to the meat.
my neighbor's son on Saturday morning shot himself. My
Wow.
neighbor's son
Wow.
Saturday morning. So it's
Mm.
real for me. It's real for me. I don't
Yeah.
have time. I feel like there's an urgency to get the
Mhm.
message out already because I don't know who's going to hear me, when they're going to hear me, and if it's going to land. Because
Yeah.
some seeds fell on thorny soil, some
Mhm.
fell on stony ground, but
Right.
some seeds fell on that juicy piece of land,
Right.
and I'm looking
That's
for
true.
those. I'm looking for those.
You're looking for the
So
good land.
yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
The hearts that are ready because and you could just tell me if I'm wrong or right or whatever, but like, in talking about people going through suicidal thoughts and planning and stuff, those who are really ready to not have those thoughts anymore, their hearts are fertile and they're just waiting for someone like you to come along and to help bring them out of that darkness, right?
Yes, sir. And unfortunately, I have news for everyone: mothers, fathers, kids who are suicidal, adults who are suicidal. I cannot make you not kill yourself.
Hmm.
I'm just going to let you know that. And I tell my parents that all the time, my patients' parents. I cannot make your child not kill themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one person that can stop them. It's not
Mm-hmm.
even you, the parent, it's themselves.
It's themselves,
And
right?
and I'm so proud to announce that I read this book called Think and Grow Rich 3 times. And my favorite takeaway from that book, Napoleon Hill said, if you don't, conquer self,
Hmm.
you will be conquered by self. People
Mm-hmm.
who kill themselves have been conquered by self. You know what self is? Your
What's that?
thoughts.
Yeah.
People that hear voices. Let me tell you something. I don't care what accent the voice speaks in, whether male or
Hmm.
female, British or Hispanic, don't matter. It's
Mm-hmm.
your voice, baby. And
Mm.
unless you learn how to tame and control your thoughts will take over. And the thoughts that you feed, the wolf that you feed is the one that's going to
Mm.
get fat.
Yeah.
And so if you stack those thoughts, I'm not good enough, I'm awful, I'm terrible. Let me give you an example. We have been
Mm.
in isolation, lockdown for what, 4 weeks now?
Yeah, just about 4 weeks.
In this 4 weeks, people are killing it, making money.
Mm-hmm.
People, you know what? I was in a mom group the other day, about a week ago, and I just I said, you know what, ladies, you can be creative. If you have a sewing machine, you can go to Walmart, buy you some yard,
Mm-hmm.
and make masks.
Yeah.
Because if the gentleman from Tesla decided to pivot and make ventilators with his
Mm-hmm.
machine, you can do that. I spoke to
Right.
4,000 women.
Mm.
One lady, after like 7 days, she posted like 300 masks. She said,
Yeah.
thank you to me. And she said she did. She was cleaning out. The kids'
Yeah.
mask was $5, the women $6, the men $7. Guess
Yeah.
who was laughing all the way to the bank? She did.
She did.
In an environment like this, there's a
Yeah.
depression we get. There's never been a time in the whole world when the whole world, today is Earth Day, by the way. Today is Mother
Mm-hmm.
Earth's birthday.
Yeah.
Imagine what she's thinking.
Hmm.
Do you think she's happy? You think she's sad? What do you think? In the whole world, we never in our memory have had a time when all of us were united against one enemy
Hmm.
who is invisible.
Right. Come on
So
now.
There's even a time for us to unite and get
Mhm.
rid of all this negativity, be it racism, be it self-hatred. It's now.
Right.
Because those of us that are still alive is not because we're better than those that have
Mhm.
died. No, it's for some reason. So you got to figure it out right now. So
Yeah.
it's all a mindset thing. When people are depressed, I was talking to a bunch of psychologists on Monday. We had a meeting, and they all said the same thing. Well, I don't know. My patients all have depression, and my
Mhm.
patients are they just hopeless. And I'm like, and I said to them, I said, that's exactly why I don't discuss medication with my patients.
Mm.
Because I believe, because I've been suicidal and I know that the medicine made me worse,
Mhm.
made me more suicidal. I know that the medications don't fix your mindset.
Yeah.
That being said, we do have people that have inherited depression. We have people that have family history of depression. We have people that have happened upon depression. We have people that have
Yeah.
been abused and traumatized and they became depressed. All of those things lead to one place, your mind.
Mm.
What you bring in, what you rope into your mind is what you're going to keep in your mind. And
Yeah.
people need to stop listening to their minds and start talking to their minds.
Mm.
I have 3 A's. When you have those thoughts coming in, the first A is acknowledge them. Hey, what's up? I see you. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
I see you. If you don't do that, you start stacking them.
Wow.
And you start stacking them and you never go to the second A, which is analyze.
Mm.
Analyze the thoughts. Okay, so you're telling me that my business is going to fail because there is a bad I don't know, COVID-19.
Yeah.
That's what the thought is telling you. Okay,
Yeah.
let's analyze that. Okay, so I'm a pediatrician and I work with suicidal teens.
Mhm.
Analyzing the thought. So when is there a likelihood of more suicidal teens or more anxiety and just more stress
Probably when they're
during
home.
exactly. So you see how I'm analyzing the thought and I'm telling the thought, I say, wait,
Mhm.
you come in, let's talk. And I'm telling you, so it's impossible. And in my case might be different. Your case might be starting a podcast. Whatever it takes, whatever it
Right.
is, you can still talk through it. Now, when you
Mhm.
talk through it, you're going to get two things. It's either going to be false or it's going to be facts.
Mm.
If it's false, banish that thought already. If
Mhm.
it's factual, if it's real, then you're going to ask yourself, okay, what else can I do besides my job? Besides this job that I've always been known to do?
Mhm.
Entrepreneurs hold the world. It's not big businesses, it's the small
Small
businesses.
businesses,
Whether
right?
you're willing to, whether you're willing to pivot and
Mhm.
innovate and create. Case in point, I speak fluent Spanish,
Yeah. Wow.
but I also speak 7 other languages.
Wow.
Because I feel like for me, it is important for me to communicate with my patients in the language that they understand. And it has nothing to do with being gifted and talented. I just said to myself, I want to do the work. I want to do what it takes to speak fluent Spanish. And so when
Mhm.
I walk in and I say, hola, buenos dias, or sometimes I do this, I don't say anything.
Mhm.
Then I respond to the conversation and they're like, she knows
Yeah.
what we think. Yes. And so what I've done is just done the work.
Mhm.
Do what it takes to get the job done. My
Yeah.
son and I, my baby son and I, we practice Spanish every night now because he's
Wow.
also struggling. I say you can't struggle with Spanish when your mother speaks perfect Spanish. So every
Yeah.
night we're practicing Spanish, and he's not allowed to speak Spanish in Spanish class and to speak English in Spanish class.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is pivot. What I've done since this whole thing went down was start working on online courses. I need the
Mhm.
teenagers who are depressed to think to themselves, what can I do to help others?
Right.
Once you stop thinking about yourself,
Mhm.
you are so surprised. One of my patients, I told her, I said, just do something creative. And you know what? The next time she had gone to the store and bought a plastic umbrella
Yeah.
and painted the most beautiful roses.
Oh wow.
Bella. And I said, did you just, she said, no, I made 10. And now you know what she's going to do now?
She's
She's going
gonna
to
sell.
sell. It's rainy season. But you see how
Mhm.
she's suicidal and depressed, but she's not, oh, woe is me. No.
Right.
She's like, okay, what can I do for others?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'll get paid while I'm doing it.
Right. Exactly. Because there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. She could have also sat down and said, woe is me all day and all night.
Yeah. So you have a plethora of different patients who are probably going through, like you said, it all ends up at the mind, but they're coming from different avenues. Like, so it could be domestic violence, it could be abandonment, it could be whatever, PTSD or something, who knows? But, you know, you said it all comes here to the mind. So how is one to, like you said, to, you know, the see the lie or see the false, right? See what is false, you know,
or what is real, or what is factual.
What is factual and what is fake, right?
Exactly, because if you're being abused or molested, that's factual. I'm not downplaying it. I was molested when I was 9 years old. That's factual. But I've used I was bullied when I was in elementary school for years in the school bus. I was molested when I was 9. I was raped when I was in medical school. Wow. I am not a victim of those events. What I've done is I spin it around and I teach people that, look, you can have all of that and still help other people because of that. Because of my history of bullying, I see a child who's being bullied and I recognize the spirit. We're kindred spirits. Because I was molested, I see a woman who's been battered and I immediately recognize her. Because I was in an abusive marriage, I see someone who's in domestic and I recognize them and I help them. I'm never going to downplay that. It's not funny to be molested at 9 years old. It's not. And people say, oh my God, you're talking about it. Yes, I'm talking about it because we are connected by our storylines. By telling you my story, you see yourself in my story, or your sister in my story, or your cousin, or whatever. And so we must step outside of ourselves. That's the thing. People that are depressed and suicidal, they're still in themselves. My boys and I, my sons and I have built together 4 Habitat for Humanity homes. 4. Why? Because I believe in giving of yourself. Before now, we volunteer at the food bank. My baby son has gone with me to the Ronald McDonald House to cook spaghetti and clean up the house. This is stuff that you can do easily if you stay in your house. Guess what? The thoughts are going to keep coming. Stop, get out of yourself and make a list of 10 places I can volunteer. And every single person is on medication. Before you know it, there's a reason why none of my patients is on medication. Are they not suicidal? But what I want to go ahead.
I was going to say, I wanted to talk about that too with the medication, because, you know, I went through the VA, the Veterans Affairs, and, you know, for PTSD from a traumatic brain injury. And, you know, when I went there, like Dr. Lulu, I had a breakdown one day. I was at work and I just like broke down crying, right? Didn't know why, didn't know where it came from. It just started happening. And so my boss, she was like, hey, Alan, why don't you go to the VA? You seem pretty torn up, you know? And I was like, yeah, I should go talk to someone. I was driving my car and I was thinking, like, you know, I want to wreck my car. Like all of these thoughts, like you were saying.
I knew you were going to say that because that's what happened to me. Keep going, keep going. Oh my God, this is amazing. I'll tell you my story. Just keep going.
Okay.
I don't like to talk about myself because it's but this is great. Storylines. This is what I said. We are connected by people say power lines. The commercial says power line, but I say storylines. Our stories.
Stories.
So we'll keep going.
So so I was driving and I'm just like, okay, I can't make it to the VA right now because I'm having these thoughts that are coming to me like, wreck your car, run into another car, do this, do that. And so I drove to my house and I called my friend who was in the Marine Corps with me, who lived in Virginia at the time. And I was like, hey man, I need you to come pick me up and take me to the VA. He was like, I'm at work. Overall, I ended up talking to him into coming to get me because I was not well in my mind. And the whole time I'm drinking, you know, I poured a bottle of Jack Daniel. I just started drinking. And, you know, I get in the car, I get there overall, and they tell me, Mr. Simmons, we could either lock you in a room or we could give you this medication and you could go home. And I was like, well, give me the medication because I don't want you to lock me in a room. Like, you know, they said they won't be able to let me out until they feel like I can come out. So medication had me paralyzed. I was numb and I would sit on my couch And so just going on the medication side, like let's talk about that. What's your perspective on it? And yeah.
Well, so thank you for saying that. But even before we do the medications, I want to tell you something. I know you can't see what I wrote, but these are the three words. These are the three words that I also use for my patients. The first one is recognition. Recognize. You recognize that you could not make it that day to the VA. The second thing you did was the second R. You reached out. So recognize, reach out. And then the third thing is you rise up. You know why? Because once you're at the bottom, there's no places to go.
That's
A lot
right.
of people don't even get to the recognize point.
Right.
Recognize that I need help. Now, the second thing I say is I speak about suicide. I have to start by clearly stating that suicide, majority of people who die by suicide do not have a diagnosis of mental illness. I must say that clearly.
Yeah.
I have a picture of me in a red Calvin Klein pantsuit looking at the bull, the golden bull of Wall Street.
Oh yeah, I remember that picture. That's a fire picture.
Now that picture, I named the bull suicide, but the middle name for the bull is the pharmaceutical companies.
Wow.
So they would tell us that you need medication. The second part is if depression and anxiety are the sole reasons for suicide. Well, I have news for you. In the last 4 years, prescription strength antidepressants in the US have more than quadrupled.
Wow.
And suicide rates have continued to soar. So please, can you explain to me why, if antidepressants are working, why are suicide rates not zero?
Right.
Because the cause of suicide is mental anguish. It's a pain that surpasses depression, baby. It's a depressive crisis. Post-traumatic trauma. After. We have to address the trauma in our kids' lives in the form of bullying, in the form of parental abuse by yelling or PTSD or whatever financial crisis in an adult. We must address the trauma. And if you don't address the trauma, suicide rates are not going anywhere. Now, believe it or not, 4 weeks ago when my kids got out of school, I made a prediction. I predicted that youth suicide level was going to go down. But adult suicide will probably climb during the lockdown.
Wow.
For one reason, because most kids who kill themselves have been bullied repeatedly at school.
Right.
So I knew that there are kids right now who are so thankful that they don't have to go to school and face that bully anymore. Suicide rates have indeed come down for that. Now I say majority. Some do kill themselves because the enemy is at home.
Right. That's true.
By way of whoever. And so we do have suicides for multiple reasons, but majority of them is not mental illness. It is mental anguish. The medical community, we already know that. We know that already. But Big Pharma has money. Big Pharma has a lot of money to advertise. Ask your doctor something. Ask your doctor if this medicine will be good for. And then in the little print, it could cause all that.
Right.
You want me to ask my doctor for that?
Yeah.
So I took antidepressants. One day I got home because I went to the ATM. I put my card in and no money came out. This was the week of Thanksgiving.
Wow.
2015. I think.
Yeah.
And 15. November 2015. I put my ATM card again. Nothing came out. I said, "Oh my God, I've been a victim of identity theft." Yes.
Yeah.
So I went home and we had a very weird Thanksgiving with no money, but we had each other, which was great. And you know what happened? My dog is here. Somebody let the dog out.
It's okay.
So I I went home, and then on Monday, I could not wait to call them to find out what happened. Oh my God. And then they said, no, ma'am, the IRS took all your money. I'm like, the IRS took all my money?
Wow.
They took every red cent that I had in a bank.
Wow.
And then it turned out that because my ex-husband hadn't paid taxes for X amount of years. And that's how come I owed me, because I owned the practice, $329,000.
Wow.
If that doesn't put you into some kind of crisis, well, it did for me.
Yeah.
Eventually, I had to file bankruptcy. But that day I came home and I told my wife, I said, I think I'm going to kill myself, because I felt like a failure. And the more I thought about it, the more I said, yes, you're a failure. Look at you. Left your husband, you have these 3 kids. If you had known better, I never for 1 minute thought that I have a job. I can keep working. I can keep making money. This too shall pass. No, because I kept listening to the voice that said to me, you're no good. What are you going to do now? You owe all this money in a foreign country. You're going to go to jail. Orange is going to be your new work. I was talking all the time.
Right.
And then she said what she could say. Well, let's take you to see a doctor, because I was really, really, really in despair. I was, again, a depressive crisis is the phrase I use, versus depression. Because before that event happened, I was not depressed.
Right.
And that's why I say to people, suicide is usually situational. It's a situational thing. In 2008, after the dot-com burst, when we had, not dot-com, the financial crisis burst, we had a recorded 10,000 men that killed themselves because of financial crisis.
Wow.
Right now, many people kill themselves because of this, because of financial crisis again. Again, before they did that, they were fine. They didn't before the trauma happened, the crisis happened. They were fine. So imagine giving that person antidepressants when the problem is they just filed for divorce, or the problem is their business, or the problem is their child just died, or the problem is they got the virus, or the problem is, you see what I mean now?
Right. I see.
Address the problem by way of cognitive behavioral therapy, aka counseling, therapy, giving them new skills. I had to tell myself, wait, I'm still a doctor. I can still work. And then my wife said she knows someone who filed for bankruptcy. I said, wait, what is that? And when I looked it up, I could get a clean slate. I can start afresh. It wasn't my choice. I was pushed to the corner, but I didn't jump. And yes, the captain at the Air Force Base at Lackland put me on antidepressants, and then they changed it, and then they upped the dose, and I just kept getting worse. And one day I was driving down I-10 here in San Antonio, 410, and I had my rooftop down of my convertible, and I took up a belt, and I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drive off. Drive off, because the medicine made me just like I was in a third space. Just I was in a zone. I didn't recognize. I was numb, like you said. I just didn't know who I was. And I was like, you know what? Anything is better than this.
Right.
But thankfully, I didn't.
Yeah.
Because I said, okay, if I file for bankruptcy, I can start afresh. I can make the money back. I'm still a doctor. I can still get a job. You know what I mean? Like all of these other options that I didn't see at that moment suddenly started coming up. And I was like, okay, so this too shall pass. But I needed to get to the bottom. I needed to first recognize that I was suicidal. I needed to reach out and tell my wife. And I needed to rise up. And rise up for me meant I stopped my antidepressants because I couldn't think on it.
Yep. It blocks your
thinking.
thinking.
This is just me. If you feel like it works for you, please, by all means, take it. When there's 7 billion people on Earth, less a million since the virus, but 7 billion people on Earth, there are many, many ways to do this. You think other countries don't have depressed people?
Right.
That don't have access to antidepressants? Let's figure out what happened. And so I tell people, don't ask somebody, why do you want to kill yourself? That is the wrong question.
That is the wrong question.
They're going to tell you because I want to die. What you ask, what happened? Because my uncle has been raping me since I was 5. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Because I lost all my money during the COVID-19. That's what happened. And then I asked for empathy and, more importantly, compassion.
Right.
Empathy says, I see you, I hear you, I feel you. But compassion goes the next step. I want to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what people I just want you to, because think about it. Think about the stigma attached to mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
And it's someone who just happened to have filed for divorce, and that's what caused their crisis.
Yeah.
And then you tell them they have a mental illness. Do you think they'll respond to you? In all fairness, when they know deep inside that the problem was the divorce, before that, everything was okay. People don't like the word mental illness. They don't like it. So I say, don't give people that diagnosis, because then you're forced to need to treat them.
Right.
Medication that might make them worse. The side effect of antidepressants is suicidal ideation. But I'm already suicidal. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Right. It's already happening. So
herein lies the problem.
Right. But you're making great points, and I love what you're saying. Like, I'm really soaking up everything you're saying, because a lot of times, like, we weren't taught to look at this matter this way, the way you look at it. And I love the way you look at it. Your perspective, you can tell how you have shifted and pivoted. As you were saying, you pivoted, your mentality as well. And so people who are going through depression right now. So let's talk to those people in coronavirus right now. There are people who lost their jobs, possibly. There are people who can't pay their bills, people who don't have access to grants, or maybe even just people who are going through divorce during. Think about it. People may be going through divorce during COVID-19.
Absolutely.
And children, like you said, children are at home with their abuser, maybe.
Yes.
So what do we do as a community to support or to help those people who may be in that situation? Let's talk to the teen, because you do a lot with the teens, right? So let's speak about the kids who are at home with their abusers, and maybe we're their neighbor, or maybe we see them from time to time. Like, how do we know, or what should we do?
Those three things.
Ours.
You have to reach out, baby. I mean, I can't help you if you don't reach out to me. I don't know you. I know you, but I don't know you.
Right.
No, I'm not. Like I said at the beginning, I would never belittle someone who's living in the house with their abuser.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a patient who came to see me one time. Her mother was concerned that she was being very ungrateful and very selfish, because she ran away from home twice. And then she tried to kill herself twice.
Wow.
And so when I asked the mom, she was like, I work 2 jobs to put money to put food on the table. I am this and that and that and that and the other. And then I asked the little girl what happened, and she said, I miss my mom. As soon as she comes home from work till she goes to bed, she's yelling and screaming at me. She's stressed out and it's stressing me out. And so she ran away. And so the mother was like, oh my God, I didn't even think. I said, exactly. Because sometimes you just don't think that what you're doing, as much as you want to help, you're not looking at it from their own point of view. I can't fix everything. I honestly don't have an answer for someone who's maybe 9 years old, who is being molested at home. I don't know what to tell you to do. Except to leave, because or go to your neighbor, reach out. Leave in the sense that leave the environment. I'm not saying asking people to be runaways.
Right.
Nobody will read this that way. No.
Have a place to go.
Have a place to go somewhere. Call one of your uncles. Kids don't make this stuff up. So if a child ever tells you that this kind of thing is happening, it is happening. It is happening. I've never seen a child, a good child, they're all born weighing 6 to 8 pounds, all innocent, and then life happens to them. I don't know any child who would just wake up and say, I'm being abused by my dad or my mom. Kids don't make that kind of stuff up. They don't have there's no incentive for that.
But a lot of kids are like, I know some people personally that I've sat down and spoke to, like their family members were the one who were like an uncle, whatever, grandfather, they were the ones that abused them. And when they did approach their parents were like, you're lying, or, this isn't true. So
hence we have suicide. And then when the child dies, oh, Darnell was a very good kid. Really?
Right.
When Darnell told you, know what I mean? Like,
Right.
You have to listen to your child. Again, like I said at the beginning, you ask God for this child.
Mhm.
You raise the child. Parents need to take responsibility of their role in raising this child. I have
Yeah.
3 sons. My eldest son is gay. When he
Mhm.
was 18 months old, I told my mom, I said, I think he's gay. My mom said, oh my God, the devil, don't ever say that. Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
tell my mom, but I knew in my house. A mother always knows. Then I have
Mhm.
another son who is the most mellow son in the world. Don't bother for nobody. Don't bother nobody. And then my baby's like me, very energized. And
Yeah.
I know each child is what I'm saying. And my
Mhm.
eldest was bullied when he was in middle school. He was
Yeah.
bullied so much that he had suicidal ideations. But the
Mm.
day I came home and he didn't have his glasses, and I asked him, what happened to your glasses? He said, well, what had happened was what? This kid
Yeah.
had, the kid that was bullying him had taken his glasses and broken them. I said, oh,
Wow.
and I did that Keanu
Mm.
Reeves thing. I was like,
Yeah. The
no.
Matrix.
I put
Yeah.
all my earrings, me and Boniqua and Shaniqua, we rolled up into their house. I was like, let's talk mother to mother.
Mhm.
My son needed to see me that I showed up for him.
Right. Exactly.
I need
Exactly.
parents listening to me to show up for their kids. I don't
Mhm.
need a kid that's going to lie about their uncle molesting them.
Mhm.
It's not what kids do. It's just there's no incentive for that.
Right. Right. That's because it takes vulnerability
Are you kidding me?
right.
If your
You know.
child tells you this kind of thing, oh, it doesn't matter. It may not even be as bad as it could just be as somebody's taking my baby's son. Case in point, I got a phone call from his school that
Mhm.
he was bullying kids, taking their lunch.
Mhm.
Not because he doesn't have lunch money. He's big. He's almost 6 feet tall. He's 15 years old. And he's
Wow.
big. And you know the problem? I said, dude, you're also black. You need to
Mhm.
carry your black. Carry your
Mhm.
like a crown.
Yeah.
A prince because you are my son. I am a descendant of kings for real. Like
Mhm.
I'm a princess. I'm not making it up.
Yeah.
I went to his school. I had a knee-jerk response. I showed up that afternoon in uniform
Mhm.
and I gave him the final. I'm gonna leave that out.
Yeah.
But I showed up and I showed out as
Yeah.
his mother. So whether my
Mhm.
son is being bullied or my son is the bully, I am having the same reaction because
Right.
someone else's child is a victim. And I'm not
Right.
wait till you get back home and then you go to your room.com. I don't do that. I'm a black
Right.
male and I act like I do. I needed the school, first of all, to see that his mother was in the picture. And I
Right.
needed my son to know that I am here. Once upon
Mhm.
a time, he was in a group chat, and a kid who has Tourette syndrome was being bullied or
Mhm.
made fun of in the group chat. The only reason my son is still alive, and I don't mean that in real sense of the word, is because he didn't say anything. He was a
Mhm.
bystander, but he
Yeah.
lost the phone.
Yeah.
And then I made sure he and his friends who were in the same group chat went to their principal and reported the event. I
Mm.
said, I cannot be telling other people to raise their kids if I'm not going to raise
Right.
them. I don't do that.
Yeah. That's
So
good.
I can only tell the parents if your child thinks of you enough
Hmm.
to want to tell you that they're being molested or bullied, honey, I beg you, do every single thing in your power, including taking the child from the environment.
Hmm.
Because when the other option is something called suicide contagion or contagion, whether you're potato or potato,
Mhm.
means or suicide clusters. Contagion means my neighbor across the street, his son killed himself on Saturday.
Mhm.
My son was going through stress. This guy just killed himself. I
Right.
do that to get out of this. Nobody wants to die. They just want the pain to stop. And if
Yep.
you don't recognize that, I can't help you. This is not funny. This is life and death for them.
Mhm.
And I asked the parents one question. Say, I'm going to ask you now, Alan, when you were a teenager, what is the one thing you wanted from your parents? One thing, just one.
Love. I just want it to be love, you know?
For you, what would love mean? Because love is a big word. Break down that love. Give me 3 examples of the love that you were speaking about. 3
Well,
examples.
just noticing me, you know, like a
Thank
lot of parents like to act like children don't exist.
That's one. Very good.
So noticing me, supporting me in everything that I was doing.
Okay, that's two. Exactly. What's the third one?
And their affection, like being affectionate.
Very
Their
good.
love.
So generally, believe it or not, you hit the nail on the head. Most teenagers feel like they're invisible. And so visibility, just see me as I am.
Right.
Knowing that this teenager is going to grow up to become an adult, is going to carry your torch. They're not going to be teenagers forever.
Right.
And when I teach the class, visibility is one. The second one is what I call valley freaking dation. Just validate them. Like, okay, I want to date this guy who has dreadlocks. Let him. What I tell you to do is don't judge based on what you want.
Right.
Tell your child, okay, sell me this boy. Sell him to me. What do you see in him? However, the tone of your voice can make her say, it doesn't matter. Or,
right.
Or, Mom, you serious? You really want to know? Yes, I want to know. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, oh my God, Mom, I can't believe it. Are you for Okay, so first of all, he's really nice. Like he paints me pictures, whatever. I don't care. Then you have a friend in your own child. Versus, you're not gonna date him. He's da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then guess what? She slams the door and she shuts down. And then she starts cutting or runs away or whatever with the same guy, regardless. I mean, parents, we hold the key. If they talk, they don't yet know that they hold the key.
Yeah. So question. So there are times when parents do, yell at their children, and there are times when parents do discipline their children, right? But you spoke of a time where your son was in the wrong, and you did not just support him in his wrong. You showed him that he was wrong, and a lot of parents, even when I was in high school, I remember, I don't want to talk about those parents because they might be watching right now. But let's just say that there are parents in the world who validate their children's behavior, bad behavior. So does that have a lot to play in it? Because their children, like you said, they're teenagers now. But when they're 30 years old and you supported their bad behavior when they punched a kid in the nose because they wore glasses or because they were gay, like, who do you think they're going to be when they're 30 years old, right? So,
and so enter my first book, and I know this is not part of it, but this
is part of it. Let's bring it in.
How to raise well-rounded children.
Back it up some.
Oh, back it up?
Yeah, back it up. There you go. How to raise well-rounded children. That's on Amazon or what?
Yes, this is the kid. This is the one.
Yeah.
He was the one that, first of all, kicked off my career on speaking, but also he was the one that I went to school to go see.
Yeah.
This is the child that was taking people's lunches. What is wrong is wrong. Is wrong is wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
Not right. You can't say, oh, the teacher said my child. No, your child did it. That's right. My next book, my third book, and I don't have a thing here. It's called Is Your Child a Bully? Because parents are now at home with their kids, and now they are beginning to see for themselves what the teacher is trying to tell you for months and for weeks and for years.
Oh, yeah.
However, more importantly is you raised the bully. Now, are you a bully? Are you learning how to be a bully from you? I mean, who are teachers? There's a picture I put up on my Facebook recently that I said, question of the day, thoughts about the mother whose tongue went from her mouth through her child's mouth to tease the kid, because it is what you're saying in the house.
Right. That's true.
That your child is doing at school.
And
then I ask the parents who yell at the kids, because I'm a Black female, and I believe when people say, oh, I have to yell. Oh my God, I have to yell. And then I say, where did you learn the yelling from?
Right.
My parents yell. I say, okay, great. Do you ever feel guilty when you yell? Oh, I do, but so you do feel guilty? Yes. Okay. Now here's the situation. I asked him, I said, if your boss did the same, because they asked me, say, oh, I want to control the behavior. I said, if your boss did the same thing your child is doing, will you yell? No. Why? because you feel you can control your child. That's why you're yelling.
Right.
Okay, forget your boss, your co-workers. If your co-workers slammed the door, or I don't know, didn't turn in their work on time or whatever, because maybe your child didn't turn in their homework, whatever your reason, will you yell at your co-workers? If the answer is no, then again I say, examine your why. Why do you feel a need to yell at your kid? Because you think you can control them.
Yeah.
If yelling worked, just like antidepressants, if yelling worked, I'm going to ask you this, Alan. How many times do you need to yell at your kid if yelling worked?
All the time. One time. Oh, if yelling, I thought you meant like if it worked. You're right. Because they should fix their actions
after one time, and that's a whole course that I teach. But if yelling worked, you only need to yell one time, and the child will know never to do whatever it is. But what most people have done is they don't accept their role in setting up the scenario that led to the yelling. If I told my son, I'm recording a podcast, so I don't need you to let the dog out. And the son lets the dog out. That means either he forgot that I was doing the podcast, or the dog really needed to come out.
Right.
Now, I can analyze that, or I can say, I told you not to let it. And then he's like, but mom, she needs to use the restroom or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, we need to also, or the other way to look at it is, I don't tell my child that I'm recording a podcast. And he starts making noises. And then I start yelling at him. And he's like, oh, mom, I did not know. So you see, we have to always find our role in setting up the situation that leads to the yelling. If it's a 4-year-old child that walks into your room and breaks your Tiffany lamp, first of all, you never told your 4-year-old son that a Tiffany lamp is not a toy. Because it's a normal behavior for a 4-year-old to explore their environment.
Right.
And look, this is it's got bright colors. Maybe it's like a toy. And then they pick it up and they accidentally drop, and then they start crying. First of all, they're crying because they're like, oh my God, my toy just broke. You come and you start yelling at them. First of all, you didn't tell them that Tiffany toy lamp is not a toy.
Right.
Secondly, yelling at a child who is already crying is now making him or her think, wait, I thought you were supposed to be my friend. Like, you should be calm. Right. So you see why I say it's always starts at home.
Yeah.
If a child becomes a teenager and bucks up, you're going to go to work. Oh, my teenager was at it again this weekend. Oh, he showed out this weekend. What about you, the parent? What have you done to try to raise this kid to not show out?
Right. Yeah.
So, Alan, you see, we can go on for like
this is amazing though, because you're giving me and from your professional background, you're giving me something that I've been waiting to hear for. I've been waiting for someone to address the roots and stop talking about the fruits. They're like, oh, these kids are bad, or with my nonprofit organization, I've went to a behavioral health center a couple of times with a friend of mine as well. And there are children there, teenagers who witnessed their parents being murdered, who were molested by their dad, who were who witnessed their mom overdose by drugs and stuff. So I sat down with these kids as I shared my story with them, and they shared their story with me. I was like, you guys aren't behavioral issued kids. Like, you don't have behavior issues. You have some.
Because you asked the question, what happened? Again, now what they're getting, every patient of mine who's ever been to the mental hospital absolutely hated it. And yet they're everywhere.
Right.
Yes, they have therapy sessions. They also have medication. They have ECT, shock therapy. I mean, if a child witnesses the murder of their father, for goodness sakes, they need compassion. Right. They need you to understand that that's a very, very, very traumatic thing. It's not a joke. Medication is not going to take that. They cannot unsee it. They already saw it.
Right. Exactly.
They cannot unsee it. They need you to take a deep breath and allow them to grieve. Because he's grieving the loss of his father, the way his father died. I mean, or whatever. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Allow these kids to voice out. What you did was open the door for them to have a connection with you. You didn't have to do that, but you see now why you had to go through your own story.
Yeah.
And I always thank God for the fact that I was raped, I was molested, I was bullied. I thank God. People are like, what? Yes, I needed to go through that. Important for me.
Yeah.
So that when I'm talking to people, it's not just some random girl just chit-chatting. Nah.
Right.
I had my own patient kill himself. I had a 7-year-old patient try to kill himself twice. 7-year-old. This is real for me. I had my colleagues kill themselves left, right, and center. I have been suicidal. So I can still be waiting for someone else to be doing my work. Or I can say, you know what, God, okay, I hear you. I'll do it. But
right. I'll go to these people. And I'm man, you know, like I gotta meet you first and foremost. Like you're an amazing woman. You know, because
thank you.
I'm able to, you know, you're able to look at your life and say, thank you, God, for allowing me to go through it, you know.
Yes.
And I think the amazing part is I made it through it.
I'm here.
And then, you know, I'm here, you know, so now that you've made it through it, you're taking, you know, you put your mask on already, you know, when the plane's going down, they're like, put your mask on, you've done that. And now you're going back to help other people. And that's the part that people need to take away for real. Like you take your story and
that's the rise up part. That's the rise
up.
That's the rise up, because now, and then guess what? When you rise up, you take people with you, because it's lonely at the top. You don't want to be lonely at the top. It takes vision, not sight, to reach the top. I'll see you at the top.
Yeah.
But if you see, when 2020 came, I love to dance. And on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, every year, I have a dance party for like 2 hours, Facebook Live. I'm just playing through my iPod and I'm just jamming. My kids can't stand it. I had 3 black boys with no rhythm, but that's okay. Me, okay? If you had told me on New Year's Eve that 2020 would turn out to be a pandemic year, I would have said, oh,
yeah.
But 2020 is a year of vision, 2020 vision. There's no better year for a pandemic than this year. It's what you do with the pandemic. It's what you do with the pandemic. When you hear Oprah's story, everybody's stories, you say, oh my God, I want to be like Oprah. Can you eat of the fruit? Can you be molested like she did and lose the child? Can you do that? Be careful what you ask for. We already have an Oprah. There's only one of you. Why don't you become? I love Michelle Obama's book. We're all becoming either a better or a worse version of ourselves. You decide. You decide whether you're a teenager or an adult. It don't matter. You decide. And if you hear this talk today, and you still go and you still yell at your kids tomorrow, it's on you, baby. It's on you, because at that point, you're now making a decision based on information that you have that you could do differently.
Right. And, you know, that's a really great point. And you know, my background, my family, big family, like everybody yelled, whatever, you know, and you would think that was normal to see that. And I've come across some guys, some men in my life recently that are very quiet. You know, they're like
my brother, when I did a Facebook Live that got 16,000 views.
Yeah.
My brother has never in his life, he's 49, he'll be 50 in December, ever raised his voice, ever. He was raised by the same parents as me. Don't tell me that my family, yes.
Right.
He's never raised his voice at his kids. He's got a daughter at Northeastern. She's doing so well at Northeastern. His son is in Germany doing an electrical engineering. But so they're successful, despite the fact that they've never been yelled at. So yelling only causes you to raise another yeller.
That's good.
And believe it or not, people that get yelled at, you know how small you feel when somebody yells at you. You know, as an adult, if I yelled at you, you would take it.
Right.
Why do you think it's okay for someone? You know, maybe for you to yell at somebody else.
Right. It's not.
You know that you feel bad when you yell. After everything, you're like, oh God, I wish I didn't. You know that. Now you don't listen to it, but you know it happens. I don't care if Everybody in the world is doing it. It doesn't make it right. Same thing with the antidepressants. I
Yeah.
want the lone voice that's going to speak against it until the day that I die.
Yeah.
Because most suicidal people just need someone to say, "Oh, I am so sorry for what you went through.
Mhm.
How can I help?"
And that's all they need. And you're so your book tackle does your books, you have two books, right? Or
We have two books. There's a
you have
second
two
book.
books, right?
It's more direct. It's called A Teen's Life.
Okay, Teen's
And
Life.
it talks about 12 teenagers. There's a
I'll
black
take
kid,
that.
there's a white kid, there's an Indian, Chinese, whatever. And I talk about basically suicide because it says looking at teens' life through their struggles. And basically, we're talking about why would a child want to kill themselves? So these 12 kids write me a Dear Dr. Lulu letter,
Mhm.
and they tell me about what's going on. One of them was molested, one of them had HIV, one of them is a child bride, one of them is gay, and the gay boy is loosely based on my son. One of them is a Native American because I found out that Native Americans have one of the highest rates of suicides. One of them is a black boy, another black boy, because I realized that there's something called absent black father syndrome. I learned that from Obama and George Bush. So, and I needed to put these in here. One girl got pregnant, the black girl. I needed her to be black, even though it's some form of a stereotype. I needed her story to be told. They are all fictional characters, but based on real things that happen every doggone day.
Yeah.
One of
That's,
the girls, I didn't get to her on time, if you know what I mean. The other ones live to tell their story. One of them I didn't. Believe it or not, after that girl did what she had to do in the book, I couldn't write for 3 weeks. I mourned my own
wow.
character. And my wife said, you're the author, right? Like you don't have to. I said, no, I know. I said, she has to, because I want people to read this book. My mother
Mhm.
cried and cried. She said she could barely finish reading the book. She was just
Yeah.
crying. I need
Wow.
that. I need
I
people
gotta
to
read
read that book and feel like, oh my God. Like,
Yeah, that's powerful. So we got to make sure people go get that. And I
yeah,
have, is it on your website that I have scrolling
they're both on
across?
my website
Yeah.
and they're both on Amazon. So Amazon.com, if you look at my author page, Uchenna Umeh, my middle initial is L, just in case there's another Uchenna Umeh out there. I don't know. But my middle initial is L. So that's how Dr. Lulu came up. I have Lulu. So
Okay.
my name is Uchenna Lisme Umeh, and I put the other L for love. But so there's that. And then it's on my website, which is teenalife.com. And if you want an autographed copy of the books, then you got to buy it from my website. Otherwise, you can
Okay.
go to Amazon. It's
From
fine.
the teenalive.com, right?
So,
Okay. So that's strolling across right there. I mean, like I could,
I'm sorry, I was going to mention that I also have a
uh
podcast. My podcast is called
yes,
Suicide Pages, and you're supposed to be a guest, my brother.
yes, I am going to be a guest.
And all I do is I'm talking to people who want to talk about their walk with
Hmm.
suicide, either as a doctor, as a mother, as a person who deals with it themselves, or whatever your story is. So people can hear that, listen, suicide can be spun around, just like we've been talking today. It hasn't been a downer
Yeah.
because it depends on who's telling the story. I can spin suicide such that people are not crying or heavy. No, because it's who is telling, it's the storyteller
Mm,
that makes the story palatable or not. It's like cooking.
yeah.
It's an art. It's how you tell the story. So you tell me your story, no matter how heavy it is, we can find a way to spin it such that people are not leaving my podcast always feeling, oh.
Like sad. Yeah.
One lady who her interview, we both cried for the hour that it lasted. I had
Yeah.
a hard stop. I could not finish it. And then we did part 2, which was better, and both of us were at a better place. So once in a while, it's heavy. I mean, it's heavy,
Yeah. It has to be at times.
but I don't know anyone who can tell the stories like me. And
Right.
before I started my podcast, much like you, I looked around. I couldn't find my accent, anyone who was black, female, Nigerian, doctor. I couldn't find anyone talking about suicide
Hmm.
directly. Like we're not mincing words. We're talking about suicide.
Yeah.
If you don't talk about it, and I know people, there's my book actually has 25 myths about suicide.
Okay.
People, oh, if you talk about suicide, the child is going to kill themselves and things like that. That's not true. What you do is when you start talking about something, anything at all, you open the door to the conversation. You start the conversation. And then the child feels like it's okay to come to you. Like I talk about my baby son a lot. He's the one in the picture because his brothers are in college, and so we spend more time. He's my muse. And he likes to talk about his fart a lot. And it's funny. But he's a male, and it's crazy. But
that's a guy thing.
When he starts talking about it, his other mom and I were like, all ears. I want him to feel like if he felt like hurting himself or cutting or smoking or whatever, he can also come to us.
Yeah.
That's what you want in the end. In the grand scheme of things, you want your kids to be able to talk to you. Calling me at 3:00 in the morning when it's kind of a bit late, it's a bit late.
Yeah.
Talk to them now. And just so I can mention to your listeners, I have a bi-weekly teen-to-teen support group that I just started last week. It's
That's awesome.
Teens by Teens. I'm there to, what's the word now?
Moderate.
To moderate and facilitate, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I might have to have you come. I'm still thinking about it. I was surprised. I got 6 kids. I was like, oh my God, someone from South Carolina joined us.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're going to have another one next weekend. And once we get established, I'm going to start having people to come and mentor those kids, because that's been, it's funny, the power of suggestion. I've said to myself, I wanted to do this from day one when I opened my practice. I wanted to do that. And now an opportunity with this Zoom to have as many as 100 kids come and just talk to each other and just learn from each other, mentor each other. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Put on this earth for that. So
yeah, that's going to be beautiful. And please let me know. Like, I'm all in. I'm all in with that. I'm all in with whatever you're doing. Conference, whatever you got. Like, I gotta be there because
we're having the first ever in the history of San Antonio, Texas, Youth Suicide Prevention Summit. It's supposed to be in September. September is National Suicide Awareness Month. It's supposed to be on September 20th. I don't know what the COVID-19 is going to be doing then, but at one point I was even considering making it virtual if I can't, if I can't have people come to San Antonio, because if I can make it virtual, then all the speakers in the world can come virtual.
Exactly.
So it will work out better for me. So we'll
see.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, whatever you're doing, Dr. Lulu, I know it's going to be lit. It's going to be hot. I know it's going to be hot.
Thank you.
Because you're man, I'm just like you said, like we're having a conversation about suicide, but I'm leaving this conversation challenging myself to be more aware of the people around me, being more aware of how I treat people.
How you show up, yes.
Because just like let's say I have a younger person that I see, from time to time that I may have been hard on, like really hard on because of their behavior, but my response could be the very thing keeping them from, rising from that, thing. So yeah.
And that's exactly. So I love the fact that you have the self-awareness to go there. It takes a lot of vulnerability to accept that I could do things differently. I'm not a perfect mother. Ask my boys. I'm not perfect by any, but I'm progressing. And so what I say is practice makes progress, not perfection. No one's perfect. Even Jesus, and I don't want to go to church up in here, but even Jesus,
go to church.
Even Jesus in the eyes of his mother was not perfect. And for the Bible people listening to you, when he was 12 years old, he did something that upset his mom. And his mom was like, son, do you not know that we've been looking for you for 3 days? Where you been? He was like, wait. Did you know that I was going to be about my mom, my dad's
my father's business? Yeah.
Did you check my father's house? Like, isn't that an attitude?
Yeah.
An attitude. Okay. Now, did his mom look at it as, she didn't look at it like, oh, you should be doing it fun. She was like, are we been? The point is, Jesus was just as human. What I asked the preachers to do is preach about the man Jesus.
Right.
Preach about the God Jesus alone.
Yeah. And it makes it hard.
It makes it hard. I was just going to say, we can't attain the godliness because we are men. We are male mortals, which he was partially. He was born of a female. Sometimes I wonder if she was black because he had an attitude. If you want to look at the man Jesus, let's take it for a spin. He lost his temper at the temple and said, get out of my father's house right now.
Yeah. He flipped out.
Again, he was just as human as you and I.
Right.
When it was time for the first miracle in Canaan at the wedding, he said to his mom, "Woman, my time hasn't come." Like, what?
Yeah.
Mom, back off.
It's not time yet.
We need to see that man,
Right.
and see how his mother spoke. And she said, "Y'all do whatever he says you should do." And he was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And then it was the best wine. Again, it's how you spin it.
Yeah, that's true.
He got to his friend's house and he was dead and he wept. He cried for his friend that died because he was human.
Right.
And then
because a lot
go ahead.
A lot of times they could, like you're saying, they give, Jesus this non-human role and expect people to walk in that. So it's like, well, so you walked out of this and now you're walking back into it. You're terrible. You're wrong. Like, repent. That's the devil all over you. And we blame everything on the devil. I make fun. No, I don't make fun, but I say a lot of times, like, the devil isn't out here doing half the things that we think he out here doing. He probably in hell chilling. Like, literally, I'm just playing. But
no, for real though. On a more serious, that is true. What we blame is the non-factor. Nobody you'll find this because you're so busy looking at the picture, you don't see that you're in it.
You're in the picture.
In the picture. And so what I ask you to do is I need you to look at the man Jesus. And my best portrayal of the man Jesus is the road to Golgotha. He fell one time and he got up. Then he fell a second time and he got up. And he fell a third time. And you know what he did? He reached out. He's like, guys, like, I don't know. I wasn't there, but like, y'all, he's not going to make it. And what happened? They gave him help. They found him Simon of Cyrene to carry the cross for him. You can reach out. If Jesus could have fallen 3 times and like, you can do the same.
Right.
Do what he did. Rise up.
Rise up.
Like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in church already. The point I'm trying to wherever you want to find inspiration, you will find inspiration.
Come on, Dr. Lulu, the queen of inspiration. Come on, girl.
Because he rose up like we're not there yet, but even on his way to Golgotha, he saw the women and the children. He felt sorry for them. He prayed for them. He counseled them. So that means even as you're suffering right now, even as you are suffering, you can still give people help. Oh my God,
Come on now. Come on. You better stop that. That's real. It's real. It's real. It's real. Because that's selflessness, right? Like if you can literally go through COVID-19, lose your job, but then someone comes to you and they're having struggles in their life, maybe with porn or maybe with family or whatever it is, you take time out of your situation because you are optimistic about your situation and you have vision in your situation, and you can say, you know what, I can step outside of my situation because there's nothing I can do right now that will change what is happening right now. Like you're in it, and let me help this person right here.
I was waiting for you to say that, and that's what Jesus did. Essentially, he said, you know what, it's not about me right now. It's not about me right now. It's about all of y'all. Like, okay, my one of my streams of income, actually 2 of them have completely died because I'm an Uber driver, believe it or not. I'm Dr. Lulu, the Uber driver. People just say, what? You're a doctor? Yes, I'm a doctor. It's okay. It's green dollars.
Yeah.
And it's working for me. That's cut out because I'm not sitting in my car with nobody coughing up on me, my face.
Right.
And then also I do telemedicine. And that's kind of like gone because you would think it would go up, but it's gone because everybody's like doing telemedicine now. But I'm not saying, oh my God, woe is me. No, I'm like, how can I help people? Okay, let me teach what I know. So it's like you can also in that look inside of yourself, and nothing brings me more joy than to volunteer. Like I'm just like in heaven when I'm volunteering. I actually have a different strut when I'm, you know what they call soulful strut, the Washington, that jam. I'm just like, because you're giving of yourself. Like it's so rewarding.
Yeah. And giving of yourself is the most valuable thing because money, commodity, like that's something that's, it could perish, but like you yourself, like being able to give your time to someone is very, very, very valuable. Man, Yeah, you're a genius right now. I think you're pretty smart now. You're pretty smart now.
I know I've seen a few comments come up, and I wasn't
Yeah,
sure if we were supposed to like address
yeah.
them
Let
because I
me
know
see here.
like 1 hour,
Yeah,
45
it's been
minutes, 2
time
hours.
flew by, hour 14. So
Yeah,
guys, do y'all have any? If y'all have any questions, please let us know. I just got
a couple
my
of
cousin.
comments.
She said good afternoon. My brother-in-law David. He said this is great information. Got to jump on a conference call. Keep it up. Awesome. Yeah, he was in. Tatiana got the answer right when you were like, how many times do you have to tell him? You
She
know,
got one. Yes,
yeah,
that's
she got
way
one.
to go, girl.
I got it wrong. I said all the time.
But that's okay. Many people don't see it that way. And you know what? It's
Hmm.
something that I could literally. I wish more people would just I don't know. I want to hug everybody and just make everybody feel better, and I can't.
Yeah,
I'm a big
yeah.
time hugger, and I know that for me is the one thing that I miss of everything that's going on. I miss hugging my patients because
Mm-hmm.
they would come in and I'll just eat them up and just the
Mm-hmm.
whole embrace and just
Yeah,
I can't do that physically right now, but
right.
God has a reason. He knows better. And but
Mm.
this particular thing that we're in now, we need to look for the silver lining
Yeah,
there. You may not believe me, but it is there. And I don't know
it
how
is there.
you have to look for it yourself. You gotta find it yourself though.
Hmm.
I can't
It
do it.
has to be your vision. You have to be able to see it. You're right. And like literally, that's why through COVID-19, I already had this microphone. I already bought the camera like a whole year ago, but I never started my podcast. But through COVID-19, I just
Gave of yourself. And
gave it
there
up.
you go. You were thinking, what can I do to help people? And I love your
Yeah.
we talk about how you can help them rise up. Oh my God, listen to
Hmm.
this whole movement. You have to come and speak at my event. You just have
Yeah.
to, whenever I do, virtual or not, because
Yeah.
I feel like there's nothing as good as talking from your own walk. I'm telling
Right.
you, like
Hmm.
Sonia Simmons says, good
Yeah,
evening.
son.
Hi, girl.
That's my kid.
It's important for us to just rise up from our walk and just keep going. Just keep going. Do it afraid. Do it afraid. Just,
Hmm.
babies, toddlers, you know how I put on my pages, I said, you never teach a toddler how to walk. They're like, I got it. They'll walk, they'll get up and say, no, I got it.
Right.
Forget when we get older, we get jaded. We forget that, once upon a time, we didn't know how to walk and we walked.
Hmm.
And so, to people who have depression, who are right this moment in basking in their depression, is what I'll use. I need you to reach deep down. Do 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day at a time. Like 1 day, literally at a time, sweet Jesus. That's all I'm asking. Start
Yeah.
with talking to yourself. Know that if you feed the negative wolf, that wolf is going to get bigger and bigger. That's a Native American
Hmm.
proverb. The
Yeah.
one feed is the one that's going to get bigger. So don't listen to those thoughts and those voices. Tell yourself that you got this. Tell yourself that you will feel down. Trust me, in this COVID-19, 2 days ago, I did not want to wake up. I was like,
Hmm.
no, because I have C-spine stenosis, and then I have a bad back, and I have bad knees, I have high blood
Yeah.
pressure. I have 90% disability with the VA. So I'm like, oh, but
Yeah.
I get up every day and you can't see it in my face. I have fibromyalgia. You can't
Hmm.
see it because I'm not about, oh, I have no, it's about I have fibromyalgia. What do you need? Okay, let me see if I can get it for you.
Right. Yeah.
I already have my fibro. I've already been abused. I've already been molested. You know what I mean? Like I already did that.
Yeah. I've been through
I've been
it.
Jesus Christ
Yeah.
already died. It's like he already died. He can't die again. So,
Right.
I might as well just save all of y'all. But you have
Right.
to reach out, 'cause you
Come
have to
on.
reach out.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that in the Black community, especially, y'all, please don't
Yeah.
let me hear one more person say that we don't have depression, that we don't have suicide. Five
Right.
African American children age 5 to 11, children age 5 to 11 are twice as likely as their white Caucasian counterparts to attempt suicide.
Mm.
Look
Wow.
it up. I can't
Yeah.
make this stuff up.
Yeah.
Yes, there's epigenetics, and then there's post-traumatic slave syndrome. That is true.
Hmm.
And of
Hmm.
course, there's childhood trauma, aka ACEs, which is adverse childhood experiences. I know, but if you can't name your problem, you can't fix your problem. Oh,
Mm. Come on, Dr. Lulu. Pastor Dr. Lulu. Pastor Dr. Lulu.
Name, if you can't put a name to your problem, you can't fix it.
Come on.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm too old. I'm 51 years old. I can't
Yeah.
lie to you.
Yeah.
It's too late for that. I'm a queen-ager.
Yeah.
I can't.
I'm a queen-ager. you better put that on a shirt, girl.
Oh, well, I just do that actually.
Put that on a shirt. No, you better put that on a shirt.
Yes, I'm trying to get teenagers to see that, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
All right, Alan, thank you.
Yes. Dr. Lulu, thank you so much. And please, once again, tell people like anything you have going on. I know you said your podcast and everything. I'm gonna put the website up again so that people could find you. Please reach out to Dr. Lulu. Do you give advice to adults? I know you work with teens.
I have one 63-year-old patient.
Okay.
And he's really at his point, he's a client.
Mm-hmm.
He reached out to me on email one time, and he lives in Michigan or something. So I call it telecoaching.
Yeah.
I'm like his coach, and that's what a coach does. A coach will tell you. A coach will see what you can do. I think he can play defense, and the coach will put you to play defense, but the coach is not going to play for you.
Play defense for you. Right.
You must play. So I do counsel adults. I counsel teenagers primarily. I live in Texas, so most of my patients are in Texas. But for telecoaching, that's nationwide. I have a patient that's in Nigeria.
Yeah, I mean, you have the energy and the charisma for online counseling, and I can feel your passion from here. So, and I'm pretty sure our listeners can as well. So y'all definitely, I have it up here, www.teenalive.com.
Yes, and I teach online courses too. I have a few courses on my page. If you go to teenalive.com/courses, you will see the one about parenting without yelling. You see the one about communicating with teen. You see my love languages course on there. You see my Is Your Child a Bully course on there. You see my suicide something, I don't know. Okay. Yeah. They're all on there.
I have to make sure I share that link too. I'll make sure I go on your link and share that on my page.
Yeah.
Share.
And just let's make this world a better place. I mean, that's all we can do. I guess it's all we got.
Right. It's all we got, Dr. Lulu, and I'm glad I got you. You're awesome, and I will be contacting you for my nonprofit organization. But I definitely look forward to having more conversations with you, and I look forward to seeing you rise to the top. Oh, do you want to let them know about your acceptance to your, the thing you applied, your TEDx thing? You want to tell them?
You
want to tell them about that real quick?
Yeah, I did get a TEDx talk. That the title of my talk is Breaking the Mold, which for me, breaking the mold is facing life afraid and just doing it and just doing it. And I quit my job as a pediatrician, $200,000 per year. And I was like, no, because I was convinced that I was called to speak about child suicide. And so for me, it's more important for me to do that than not to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing right there, Dr. Lulu. And I'm rooting for you all the way. So you got my support, and I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it for real.
All right. Have a great day.
About when you need to come on as a guest, and we'll make it happen.
Okay, let's do that. All right, bye.
Bye.
Awesome. Man, that was a great interview with Dr. Lulu. She is fantastic. She's passionate. She is intelligent. Man, I love the way she storytells, the way she puts everything together in a box, and you can just kind of eat it all. Dr. Lulu is great. Please be sure to go follow her and go to her website. Check out those courses, please, because I need to buy one for one. I don't have kids yet, but I will have kids, and I need to know how to work with kids in general. We all do, because kids are our future, and kids are the future. So we need to work on ourselves. We need to better ourselves for the sake of our country, for the sake of the world. So go out there, get those courses so that you can be a better human, a better parent, a better uncle, aunt, cousin, whatever it is. And be sure to have a listening ear for people who are hurting while you're going through your process. So this is the Purpose Pod. I hope you enjoyed your time here. Make sure you follow Dr. Lulu. Follow Dr. Lulu. Ask Dr. Lulu. All right. Peace.